Hi everyone, it's Stephanie here and welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be creating another trio of cards. These are going to be quick and easy cards that we can mass produce for the holidays. And in today's designs, we are going to feature just stamping. For these designs, we're going to be featuring the Serene Snowflake stamp set. A stamp set that has a bunch of snowflakes in it is a great set to have on hand for the holidays because there are so many different things that you can do with stamped snowflakes. So I have a panel here that's cut to 4 inches by 5 1/4, and I put it inside my MISTI stamping tool so I can lay out the stamps onto the panel. Once I have all of the stamps positioned where I want them, I'm going to close the MISTI door, which will pick up all of the stamps, and then I can do some stamping on each of my panels. What I want to do is do 2 different colors on each of the panels, so I want to do some layering effects with the snowflakes, but rather than move all of the stamps, which is a little bit time consuming, I'm going to just move my panels around inside my MISTI. For my card designs, I'm going to stay with similar colors on each of the panels, but you can mix it up and do multiple colors if you want to have really colorful designs. I'm going to start with my lighter pink color on this first panel, which is Cotton Candy ink, and I have my panel inside my MISTI so that the stamps are easily able to overlap over the side, so I have it kind of pushed into the center. I stamped those snowflakes twice to get a really nice solid impression, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move that panel. So for this one, I'm just going to kind of move it slightly over to the right. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to stamp these snowflakes a second time now with a new ink color. This one here is Razzleberry, which is a really dark, bright pink. And you can see the contrast that we get with the lighter pink color kind of in the background, and then these darker snowflakes layered over top. And because we moved the panel rather than all of the stamps, it was really quick and easy to get this 2-layered stamped effect. I'm going to set that one aside now, and we're going to go ahead and do the same thing now with a new panel and new colors. So the first color on this one I'm going to use is Limelight, and once again I have that panel positioned in the exact same spot that I did for the initial card. I'm going to stamp these twice to get a really nice solid impression, and then we're going to go ahead and move that panel to do a second stamping. This time I decided to move the panel over to the right as well as up a little bit in my MISTI to see what kind of a look I get with this type of layering. For this second green ink, we're using Gumdrop Green, which is a darker ink color. And you can see now when I lift this, we kind of got 2 rows of snowflakes. It's not really what I was going for. I'm not 100% sure I love this design. It's kind of unique because it looks like it was meant to be like that, where we have 2 distinct rows. And we ended up covering up that really small snowflake by doing that. So it's kind of a different design, but I'm going to go with it, and we're going to keep that one on hand as well. And now we're going to move on to our third panel. For this one, I'm going to use aqua colors. So the first one here is Summer Splash ink. And I've once again positioned that panel in the exact same spot initially as I did with the first 2. I'm going to stamp it twice to get a really nice stamped impression. And then I'm going to move this one over to the right, and I'm going to go up higher with this one than I did with the green one. And what that's going to do is it's going to bring the snowflakes farther down on the panel and actually fill the panel up a lot more than we did with the first 2. For this here, this is Tropical Teal ink, which is a really dark teal color, and I love the contrast of this one over the Summer Splash. This is probably my favorite color combination of all 3. And now you can see we have 3 different designs. We haven't moved our stamps at all. We simply moved the panel around in our MISTI and changed our ink colors, and we ended up with a more clustered look on the pink one up near the top. The green one, we ended up with those distinct rows of snowflakes, and for the teal one, we have the snowflakes kind of all over the panel except for the bottom right corner. So it's just kind of fun to play around with the panel, moving it around to see the different designs that you can create. To make this even quicker, you can just do one of the designs in 2 ink colors and just repeatedly stamp them over and over. But I just wanted to show the difference with different colors on each of the panels. Okay, so now we can add sentiments to these panels to call them done. So I'm using the hand-lettered holiday stamp set. You can use any sentiment stamp set for this. The cool thing about this design is it's very universal, so lots of different sentiments would work with it. And for this first one here, I used Happy Holidays, and I used a sentiment that was large enough that it would layer over the snowflakes. If you don't prefer that look, you can go with something smaller like what I'm doing here, and this is just being stamped in the white space on the right-hand corner. Or you can go ahead and just do a little bit of an overlap like I'm going to do on the green one. So this one is mainly in the white area, but I do have a tiny bit of it overlapping the snowflakes. So now we have all 3 designs, we have sentiments on each. The last thing that we need to do to finish these up is add them to a card base. For the card bases, you have a few options. You can go with white just to keep it very simple and plain, or you can go with colors. And for this one, I decided to either use the lighter or the darker of the 2 colors, and it just makes everything match perfectly together since I'm using the exact same cardstock as I am ink color. So I decided to go with the darker ones on each of them. So for the teal card, we used Tropical Teal as the card base. For the pink one, we used Razzleberry, and for the green one here, we're going to use the Gumdrop green. I really loved that pop of color in behind the panel. I think it looks really cool to have all three colors kind of mixed together. This would make a really cool card set if you wanted to give an entire set as a gift. I decided at the last minute that I wanted to add a little bit of sparkle to my card designs. You definitely don't have to do this, especially if you're going for quick and easy, but I wanted to add just a little bit of sparkle to the center of the snowflakes. And a great way to do this, where it's very fast and you don't have to take a lot of time, is to use some type of a glitter glue, which my favorite is Stickles. I have lots of Stickles in different clear colors. This one here is called Stardust, and it has just a really nice iridescent sparkle. So I'm just going along and adding this to the center of the snowflakes. I'm just kind of pressing it out and moving it around so it's nice and flat. I don't want to have a lot of dimension with the Stickles. I just want to have that sparkly detail in the center. And then once we have that added there, our three cards are finished. We have very similar card designs because we've used the same stamp for all three, but because we've just kind of moved that panel around to do the stamping, we ended up with some really unique designs and have that double stamped color by using the lighter and the darker ink. I hope today's video gave you some ideas on ways that you can use your snowflake stamps to very quickly and easily create some really fun stamp designs. As always, I appreciate you being here for another video, and I hope to see you again soon. Thanks so much for watching.